Listen to these people trying to justify their bid'ah.
Imam ibn Abidin al-Shami rahimahullah ta'ala mentioned in his Radul Mukhtar that it's mustahab to do so, based on a weak narration by Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala.
They themselves are telling you the hadiths are authentic.
Why do you want to base your deen, your religion, on that which is weak?
Wahhabiyya. This is a response to Uthman bin Farook. First things first, Uthman, you brought a point. Why are you following something that is weak? Why don't you follow something that is strong? If that's the case, then you should stop following Kitab al-Tawheed. Kitab al-Tawheed by Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab Najdi has over 20 weak narrations. So just because something has weak narrations in it shouldn't be followed, right? Thrown in the trash according to your ideology. Well, let's start with Kitab al-Tawheed first. Your Nasiruddin al-Albani and your Salafi Wahhabi scholars weakened so many hadith in Kitab al-Tawheed. So you might want to go and sort them out first. And likewise, you got Al-Adab al-Mufrad by Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala, which contains weak hadith. So what will we do now with Al-Adab al-Mufrad according to you? Also, you said La yusih.
La yusih.
It's La yasih with a fatha. Come on, man. Now coming to the topic at hand. Weak narrations. Weak narrations, when they fall under the category of fada'il, of virtues, are not rejected, they are accepted and they are permissible to act on. The Salaf, the ulama of this ummah, and your Wahhabi Salafi scholars have actually said this. Now from the Salaf, Sufyan al-Thawri mentions that it is permissible to take lessons and take encouragement and benefit from narrations which fall under the category of fada'il, of virtues. However, when it comes to matters of halal and haram, then we will exercise extreme caution. Abdullah bin Mubarak rahimahullah also mentioned the same, meaning that the Salaf affirmed the acceptance of weak narrations. In fact, we find that Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahimahullah, he is saying that when it comes to halal and haram, in those narrations, there's no leniency. But when it comes to narrations within fada'il, then there is absolute leniency. In fact, you will find that Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala in his Al-Arba'in or his Kitab al-Adhkar, he has mentioned that the muhaddithin, the scholars of hadith and the jurists unanimously agree that it is permissible to act upon weak hadith when it comes to fada'il, when it comes to virtues. And also he mentions all of the respective ulama that agree with him in this regard. In fact, Ibn Hajar al-Makki rahimahullah in his commentary of the Mishkat al-Masabi says the exact same thing as Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, citing that it is permissible by ijma of the four schools to act upon fada'il, even though they may be weak. In fact, we find Ibn Taymiyyah saying the exact same thing, that if you have a narration that is weak and it has no liar in it, there is no harm in accepting that hadith. So you want me to leave the understanding of the Salaf, the ulama of this ummah, over you? What is your understanding in comparison to these ulama? And look, Uthman, we don't need lessons about weak narrations from someone who can't read basic ayat of the Quran correctly.
فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم.
And what's even more baffling is your topic was around weak narrations and responding to that hadith. But then you started talking about Rafa Yadain. Why are you always attacking the great Imam? What is your issue with Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah? Now you said at the end of your video, people need to stop making out with their thumbs. Akhi, you need to stop making out with those Wahhabi scholars. It's not looking good, bruv. I'm going to finish this video with Uthman's own words. But before we hear Uthman's words, to you Uthman, stop clout chasing. Just because that video got over 4 million views, you thought I'll jump on the ride and get a few more views. So stop. Here's Uthman in his own words.
If I'm not doing something haram, mind your business.